Hello, and today we are talking about receiving block. My name is Lauren Plant. I'm a mindset and life coach for real estate professionals and entrepreneurs, and I help y'all move through your blocks and expand your capacity to receive higher levels of success and fulfillment. So, we were talking about the receiving block. The receiving block is extremely important because it doesn't matter what you do. It does not matter what actions you take. If you have a block to receiving money, your blessings, success, you will not receive it. So you can take all the business action and this is usually what happens is when you're in this place, you're taking all of the action, but you keep saying things like, I keep attracting clients that don't want to pay for my services, or I keep attracting clients that are X, Y, or Z, or whatever it might be, right? I keep attracting people who aren't real and wanting to move forward or whatever it might be, right? And so when this happens, we have to take a look at your ability to receive. Now, if you do not have the ability to receive or allow yourself to have, then there's a problem. And that's what we need to talk about. Some signs that you know you have a receiving block. You like to give, do, and you're a people pleaser, so you're constantly focused on doing and giving to others. But when it comes to receiving, you struggle in that sense. You struggle in that part. So you hyper focus on giving, and giving makes you feel really accomplished, but also makes you feel in control, which can be a little bit manipulative. We won't get into that in this video. We'll get into that in a video when we talk about people pleasing. But we do need to pay attention to the behaviors here so that you can start to understand and become aware, do I have a receiving block? Another way to recognize if you have a receiving block is you get really uncomfortable when somebody gives you a compliment. So if somebody gives you a compliment and you start to reject it or pretend like you didn't hear it or just say thank you and you don't fully receive it, there's a difference between being like, oh, thank you, and like, oh, I really received that, worked hard for that, so I appreciate that. Right? And it's actually receiving. Another way is when somebody gives you a gift, where does your mind go? Does it go straight to, wow, I need to give a gift back. I need to do something for them. Or I can't accept this. Because if you have this type of receiving block, odds are you may not feel worthy of having, holding, and maintaining the good things in life. Today, we're going to talk about money and success, but you can apply this to any area of your life because you may see this even happen in relationships. You may see this happen in your career. You may see this happen in your health. You can be healthy for a week and eat really good, but can you stay there before you have to go back to your baseline? And I speak about this a bit, and we're going to get into it. We're talking about capacity, right? But your comfort zone is basically what you're bringing yourself back to. So if you're one of those people who you eat really well, you stay on your health for like a week, couple weeks, or a month, and then you fall right back into your comfort zone. And usually that looks like binge eating, going wild, and then going back on your inconsistent behavior. Yeah, we've got to work on some stuff and some blocks. Another thing is in a relationship. Can you get in a relationship with a good person and then somewhere along the lines you sabotage it or something happens because you're not allowing yourself to receive, have, and hold the good things? And same with money. I'm on it. I'm in my business. I am working hard. Things are going great. And then all of a sudden, something happens and you're not as motivated anymore, or you're not taking action like you once were. And it all brings you back to your comfort zone. So it does come down to expanding your comfort zone away from where it is your baseline currently is. So you may be at $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year. You could be at 10K months trying to get to 20K months, or whatever it might be where you're at versus where you want to go. There's going to be a journey to expansion. And one piece to that journey, there are many. And if you watch my videos, you'll hear me talk about it. But one piece to that journey is learning how to receive. And in learning how to receive, I'll tell you what I did that was super impactful for my life, but also for my clients' lives. I did a 21-day receiving challenge with, I think there was I only hosted it for women at the time, and there was about 35 women in there. And what we did was we held one another accountable in the group chat to receive 3 times per day and to take mental note of it. Because we often complain about how much we give and how depleted we are. And it's simply because we don't allow ourselves to receive. It's only us. It is always us against us. It's either we don't allow ourselves to receive or we don't even recognize in what ways we are receiving. So here's what had came up in this 21-day challenge. Some of the girls would be like, I received safety on my long drive home. I received running water. I received somebody holding the door for me. I received a client doing X, Y, or Z for me. For me, I had moved through something with my car and I got a $10,000 check in the mail. And that was something I really had to receive. It was money basically for nothing. And it felt really funny for me. So to receive $10,000 for no reason, it was really a blessing from God. And just through a situation that I had went through, like, yes, I deserved it, but it felt funny receiving money given I hadn't put in any work to receive it. So that was something I had to work on when I was moving through the group with the girls. And so I had to fully receive that and sit there with it. And that can be uncomfortable because you know why it's uncomfortable? It's a threat to my comfort zone. In my comfort zone and in my belief system was I have to work hard to make money. And that's a big limiting belief. Because while effort is necessary, of course it is. We don't necessarily have to drive ourselves into the ground and work so hard to receive money. So for me to receive $10,000, I was like, what do I do with this? Like, I don't even know what to do with $10,000 that I just received that was just like out of nowhere for no reason. And it's like, am I going to allow myself to receive that blessing from God? Was what I called it. Blessing from the universe. And so it is recognizing the ways in which we receive and sitting with it, right? That discomfort you feel when you get a compliment, sit with it. That uncomfortable feeling or that need to make the stakes even or throw it away or throw it back at somebody when somebody gives you a gift, sit with that discomfort. Because as a business person, as a professional, as somebody who's evolving and expanding, your biggest and best skill will be your ability to move through discomfort. Because what happens when you go from your comfort zone to your new reality that you're trying to create? Your $50,000 per year or $100,000 per year to your now $75,000 a year or $200,000 a year, whatever it is that you're trying to expand to. How do you think you get there? It is uncomfortable. It is really, really uncomfortable. And so this is where I'm going to urge you not to retreat. If you watch my other videos, you hear me say this a lot. You're going to want to retreat when you're moving through that discomfort. I'm not sleeping as well. I have anxiety. A lot of thoughts are coming up. I'm safer here. It's better here. I know it here. I've got my routine here. But if you're willing to take the journey to expansion, you will get there. And I've seen people struggle with this, not in their career, but maybe in their personal lives and connection with their loved ones, right? And I've seen people not struggle in that area, but struggle in their career. And I've seen people not struggle in either one of those areas, but struggle in their health, right? There are what I call 4 pillars to life, which is your spirituality, your health, your career, your relationships. And we're constantly oscillating between all 4, for me at least. You may have more or you may have less. And the goal is to stay in the middle in a balanced way and be able to maintain that and maintain the goodness with it. But when something falls flat, we need to put a little extra focus and extra energy into that pillar of life. And so you see sometimes you got to ask yourself, where am I at right now? Where am I falling flat and where's my focus right now? And so that's why I'm asking you this. So you're going to want to expand. Now, this is why I have a 4-step framework with coaching. I host a mastermind. It's a weekly mastermind where we hold one another accountable towards expansion. I do one-on-one coaching, which is the deeper dive into the blocks, the healing, the mindset work, the behavior changes, and the breaking of the patterns. And so in both, in different calibers, we move through a 4-step framework, depending on where we're at, whether it be in the group or with the client, the single client. The first step is to heal. healing the block. This is what I'm talking about. Healing the receiving block. If you do not heal this receiving block and heal your relationship with money and your ability to receive it, you won't. Simply put, you can sit here and do all the manifestation techniques, and you can sign up for all the business courses, and you may get somewhere. But there's always going to be this little comfort zone that you may fall back to, or it's never going to be enough for you. So you're going to be constantly complaining about like, it's never enough. I'm never happy. Because that's where the block is. So it may show up in any different variety of ways for you, depending who you are. But it's usually in the area of either success or fulfillment. And without both, life is not complete. We need both to really feel complete, purposeful in ourselves and in life. I'm not just in the business of making you money. I'm in the business of making you money and living a happy life and using the money as a resource to continue living that happy, fulfilled life. Because that's the point. And gosh, I'll tell you, I didn't know it was possible until I did it for me. And I'll tell you, once I got a taste, I had to share it with the world. That's why I'm here talking to you. Because it is so possible. First step is to heal the limiting beliefs, heal the blocks. And depending on the client, I do that in a variety of ways. For you, you're going to have to sit down and assess, like, in what ways do you want to heal? I highly suggest you get support. We know it works. It works every single time. The second clients spend money, the changes happen. I swear we don't even have our first session yet. But the second you make a commitment to your growth in that way, things change tremendously. Second step is to do the mindset work. This is when you rewire old thoughts, limiting beliefs that are most likely not your own, but there have been experiences that we would have worked through in the healing stage, experiences, traumatic experiences, things people said to you that are now running and taking up real estate in your mind. Your thoughts are running you. You are not running your mind. So you want to make the shift to mastering your mind. That's why the mastermind is called Master Your Mind Mastermind, because you should be the master of your mind. And this is where the rewiring techniques come in so that you can start standing in front of your self-doubts, because self-doubts, worries, and fear block the flow of money. We see it every time. Blocks the flow of anything that you want. You want something, you have a follow-up thought of, I don't know that I can get it. Or what about this? What if this happens? All the fear, all the worry. You immediately put a wall up between you and your manifestations. So there's you. You're trying to manifest. On the other side of the wall is all your manifestations. All you have to do is lift the veil. I tell clients all the time, your desires are 2 inches away if you just let them in. And that's why we're talking about receiving, because you need to allow yourself to receive. You need to know you are worthy. And this is where all that healing takes place. And then we're going to talk about the mindset and how you can start in your mind understanding, I am worthy and deserving of this. I am worthy and deserving. But if you start doing the affirmations and start doing the rewiring before you've done the healing, it's going to bounce right off. It's never going to make it past your brain and settle into your body. And we have to make the changes in the body. So once you do that rewiring of knowing you're deserving and worthy of receiving, we can start taking the actions. That's the third step, behavior and actions. Start taking the third step in getting what it is that you want, taking the actions towards that. Because after you do the first 2 steps, when your mind feels blocked and you're like, I know the answer to this. I know how to take action, but why can't I just can't, or I'm not motivated, or I just can't figure out how. I know I have more potential, but why can't I figure out like what steps to take? I tell you, it's like magic. When you do the healing and the mindset stuff, your mind opens up all these new pathways because it finally knows it's safe and that it's possible to get the outcome that you desire. So when you move into behavior and action, you start easily taking the action, and you start taking the action consistently. This is key if you want to maintain changes. This new action further sends your brain new messages of, I am worthy. Oh my gosh, I am a priority. Oh my gosh, I am a successful person, and I'm worthy of this life and this lifestyle. I'm worthy of good things. I don't feel guilty anymore about desiring these things. I don't feel shame in my body for wanting this or from the past or whatever it might be. So these behaviors actually start to shift your reality. And the fourth step is allowing and receiving that new desired outcome. So allowing that new desired outcome to take place. Because the reason why people don't always make the changes is because they are afraid to change. Change is different. I'm talking about you're leaving your comfort zone. When you leave your comfort zone, you may experience anxiety. You may not sleep as well for a little while because when you leave your comfort zone, you're going to have to go through discomfort. People retreat. And that's why they don't change, is because change is scary. You're leaving your such familiar zone. But if you work up the courage to move into uncharted territory and dive into the unknown and trust yourself and trust this process, and this is why you get support. I have coaches. Having a coach is really important because you have somebody to help you along this journey. You don't have to do it alone. If you decide to do it alone, I guarantee it'll take you longer. I tried it. It did. It took me longer. And anybody I know takes them longer, right? You could start with the courses. You could start with the self-guiding stuff. But then having somebody hold you accountable is a life-changing experience. I'm telling you, in the mastermind, this girl came into the mastermind and she's like, I haven't been able to break through into 5-figure months my whole life. I've been trying and trying and trying. Week 3, she made 5 figures that month. Week 3. And the shift started when she betted on herself. We didn't even have our first mastermind call yet, but the shift started then. Because when you make a financial commitment and you bet on yourself and you say, I'm going to make this money back no matter what, that's the mentality you need. I'm going to figure this out no matter what. I'm going to do this no matter what. I can't lose. And if you move with that confidence and that conviction and that mentality, that's the mindset you need to become the person you want to become. Whatever that might be. Maybe it's a super successful person. Maybe it's like a holistically balanced person. I'm not sure. But for you, you have the answers. And so it was an incredible thing to watch because I watch this every day. That's why I love my job so much. I watch people win every day, all the time, and it's incredible. So if you allow yourself to dive into that uncharted territory and allow yourself to move through the change, the discomfort, and experience the change, you will find yourself on the other side. I can almost guarantee it. If you step 2 feet into it and you commit yourself to it, I see it every time. It's 100% chance. Like I see it when people fully commit to it. I know when people don't fully commit, and they do too. And they do too. And that may be because they're not ready. And you've got to ask yourself, are you ready? Are you ready yet? And if you are, then what are you waiting for? So I hope that this helped put some motivation under you and gave you a little further awareness. If you are interested in joining the mastermind, I have one for real estate professionals and I have one for entrepreneurs. Then you can reach out to me or you can apply in the link in the description. Like this video, give it some love, subscribe to the channel. And also if you're interested in one-on-one, currently I have 1 spot available. It fluctuates. Sometimes there's a wait list. At the moment, I have 1 spot available. And if you're interested in one-on-one, get on the wait list or reach out to me for that experience as well if you have any questions. And as always, good luck.